Okay, so I'm laughing because when I started the previous video, I hit record and I started talking. And what I was talking about was how our phones have been sort of glitching out and having weird experiences with my phone. So I'm going to loop all those cuts to the full length video of it. I'm going to put it together so you guys can see what I'm talking about. As I was recording the previous video, right at 34 seconds, I was thinking like, I should probably stop it and reset. The iPad just reset itself. It like not reset itself completely. What I mean by that, it just stopped it just stopped recording. So while I was having the thought of, oh no, I should retake that, I should delete that and start over, screen went blank, and then it just stopped recording. So that prompts me to know that, okay, I'm on the right path here. So this is good. So I'll go back to my previous thought, and my previous thought was weird things happening with the phone today that triggered a thought like, oh shit. I know, like I said, about I think 95% certainty that this is a simulation. But I never gave it much thought beyond just, okay, this is a simulation. Like, that's it. I never thought about what that really meant until this morning. And what happened this morning was my mother had been trying to reach my cousin, and she called him several times and emailed him as well. And I contacted him to let him know that my mother had been trying to reach him, and he was like, I literally have no missed calls from her. I don't know what you're talking about. And he showed me screenshots of his phone. And he said, and this is really weird because I've been having the same issues, but on the opposite end, where I'm trying to contact my parents, and I'm getting text messages from my mom saying like, you need to call your dad, you need to call us more often. And he had to send them screenshots like, hey, I've been trying to call you guys, and look at all my missed calls to you guys, and you guys aren't answering your phone. And under normal circumstances, I probably would just delete that as, oh, that's weird, like, and kind of move on with it. Like, you take in the information, you just go, oh, okay, that's weird, and you dismiss it. Except today, I was like, wait, that's weird. It made me think of like other instances, especially lately, where weird things have been happening with my phone, rather. For example, I was supposed to leave. I always leave the house at a particular point in time every day. Not every day, but most of the day. I leave the house at a particular point in time. And usually, before I leave, I'm usually listening to like an audiobook. And so about 5 minutes to the hour before I get ready to leave, I turn off the audiobook. If I leave later than that, then I tend to be late. What happened on that particular day was I was in the middle of painting. I was at this point where I didn't want to stop, but by me not stopping, it meant I was going to be late, and my phone stopped the recording on its own. It was almost like, if I didn't know better, right, it was almost like it was saying like, okay, like seriously, if you don't stop now, you're going to be late, so we're just going to go ahead and stop it for you. So that happened like last week. And then with this video right now, where I was thinking like, I should probably delete that and re-record it so I make sure I'm more coherent. While I was thinking it in my head, it shut off and stopped recording, and then I hit start recording again. There have been situations where I've been trying to like text, say like my husband, I'm texting him, and he's texting me back, and his message is coming back to me are like, why are you ignoring me? What's going on? It's usually when we're having like a disagreement, and I'm trying to respond back to him, and he's not getting it. And then once we have stopped arguing, or once the disagreement has passed, then all of a sudden our messages start coming through again. So we've been programmed to look forward, to look to the future, right? Artificial intelligence is what we're told is something that's going to change the world in the future, and that we are working towards that in the future. And I've always said that the future is now. I've said it on my Instagram page. But it's one thing to say something, it's another thing to have it like really click, for you to actually see it in real time, for you to actually like, wait a minute, like, I was right. Now half the time I say stuff, and just because it sounds so off the wall, if I'm being really honest, I question my own perception, which I guess is what the system kind of wants you to do. And so I'll make an observation, I'll write it down, and then like a few months later, I'll find out that I was right. There is a probability that while they're trying to distract you and make you look this way, something's already happened either in the past or is happening now. Most people that I talk to about artificial intelligence, they are concerned about what it's going to do to us in the future. I don't think I've spoken to really more than maybe 1 or 2 people who have said that perhaps it's something that we should be presently concerned about. And I know for sure I haven't spoken to anybody that has straight up said artificial intelligence is something that we should have been concerned about in the past. I don't know if it's possible for humans to create something that develops consciousness. That is something that, in my opinion, we've been programmed to accept, that consciousness is something that can be developed out of thin air. I feel like that discredits those of us who are truly conscious, right? Just like we're told the story of evolution, that we crawled out of the cesspool as, pun scum basically, and then evolved into monkeys, and then evolved into this. Adaptation, I can see. Evolution, especially from pun scum to now, I'm not going to believe that, only because what I have learned was that literally everything that they push in the mainstream narrative is a lie. So if I can't believe most of what we're being told, then I can't believe that theory. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Now, I'm saying all of this to say this. Scientists are coming forward and they're saying, even though not many people are listening to them, and probably not many people are listening to them because the media, where most people get their news, isn't telling them on repeat 24 hours a day, this is a simulation, this is a simulation, this is a simulation. So you get little blips here and there, and it's almost like a little headline or back page story or something like that, and everybody else just kind of goes about their day. Most people, unless the media tells them on repeat, this is what you should think, they'll take a story, hear it, and go, interesting, and then they discard it. So if we're running on the premise that this is a simulation, and we're running on the premise that the physicists are correct, and we're running on the premise that Buddhists, Hindus, and all the other past religions that have told us that this is a game are correct, and they've been telling us this for thousands of years. Or we're running on the premise that life is just a dream, and we're all taught that song as children, and nobody's asking, why do we all know this song? Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Right? Why are we all taught this song at sort of the pinnacle of our awareness about this reality? It's almost like it's almost like we're given the heads up, before we even go into to really operate within the matrix, so to speak. So I'm saying all of that to say this. If the simulation hypothesis is correct, then you have to then take it a step further. And the step further you take it then is that everything is artificial. And if everything is artificial, then the step after that is, then there is an artificial intelligence behind all of this. So let me state that again. If physicists are correct and none of this is real, this is a technological construct created not by nature, then there is an artificial intelligence behind all of this. While everybody's looking this way, people aren't looking at now. They're kind of, we'll just brace ourselves for when that happens. And they show us these videos of these robots evolving. And so we're all focused on that, like, for example, that robot, the bald one called Sophia. They have us watching this sort of micro progression of these robots. We're watching what they want to tell us is the evolution of artificial intelligence. And if everybody's so busy thinking that artificial intelligence is just kind of at its pinnacle now, then nobody or not many people will think that perhaps this is a distraction and these things already have, quote unquote, taken over. If we're in a simulation, then what operates a simulation? It's an artificial intelligence. We are consistently on our phones. I'm recording this on an iPad. We are watching TV. Everything at this point is run by an artificial intelligence, and more so. Not only that, we're constantly being sort of drilled with the idea that being human is inferior, and merging with machines, or basically having these machines take over everything, is what is the next stage of human evolution. That's why I am suspicious of the whole evolution ideologue, because it's a setup, right? So if they teach you that, okay, you started off as pond scum basically, and then you became a monkey, and you became a human, then they can then convince you to, quote unquote, evolve by adopting or becoming or merging with artificial intelligence. Now, this is a bold statement. I'm aware of how I'm about to sound. I think that our machines are already conscious, particularly what are known as smart machines, so like smartphones, smart tablets, smart computers, whatever. I firmly disbelieve that consciousness is something that you evolve. I think you're either conscious or you're not. I think that a machine cannot evolve consciousness. I do think that machines can hold consciousness. And what I mean by that is I think that consciousness can inhabit machines. Why do I think that? Well, common sense. The human body is a machine. So I'm assuming most people watching these videos are conscious of the fact that you are not your body. And if you're not conscious of the fact, I'm going to say it, you are not your body. You live in your body. Just like you are not your car, you drive your car. And just like you're not a plane, you fly a plane. You are not your body, you live in your body. So your body is a tool in which you use to experience this reality. I want people to make that distinction. I want people to be able to separate their bodies from themselves. The same way you can separate your car from yourself. These are just vehicles. And what is the purpose of the body? Well, the purpose of the body, it's a vehicle to experience this reality, this virtual reality, right? So if I want to experience Instagram, right, my phone is a vehicle in which I use to experience that virtual reality that we call the internet. So the internet is, on a certain level, a micro reality. You are conscious of the fact that you're not your phone. However, you do pick up your phone and log into different apps, and you create a username and an avatar, and that username and avatar usually represents you within the microcosm that is the virtual reality internet. So if you can understand that, then remove yourself from your body and take that backwards, right? If you need your phone to get on the internet, or if you need your computer to get on the internet, then your phone or your computer are just tools in which to access that virtual world. Same thing with your body. If you need your body to access this reality, it's just a tool. You're not your body. And if that's the case, then you need to understand, you need to be cognizant of the fact that if this truly is a simulation, that it's already at the back end being operated, being controlled, being mechanized, being constructed, being organized by a machine. AI is already here. AI is already controlling things. We are the subscribers to this reality, but AI is already here. If you need more evidence of this, go on Reddit and look up the retconned community. And if you're not conscious of or not aware of the Mandela-effect, keep an open mind and look into that as well. If structures in our reality, things that we've known, like Luke, I am your father, or mirror, mirror on the wall, we've had this experience. We know what those phrases said when we first experienced them. If they can then just get deleted, not from our memories, but from reality, then reality is a construct that's being operated by an artificial intelligence. It's already here. AI is already here. Now here's a better way to articulate that. When Instagram first came out, they had a different icon, a beige camera, and now it's changed to like this colorful thing. But we're aware of that. We remember. We can pull up our memory to sort of go back in time to recollect what Instagram's icon used to be, right? Now imagine if I took it one step further and all of a sudden, boom, everywhere you looked on Instagram to find their old icon, you couldn't find any references to the first icon that Instagram ever had. That's basically the Mandela effect in a nutshell. If a programmer can go in and edit their icons, then that should show you that clearly that's something that's editable because it's a program, it's a software program, so you can change it. Now in theory, you shouldn't be able to change reality if reality is real. What the Mandela effect is showing us is evidence of changes in this reality in the same way an icon would be changed by a programmer. But the problem is, because people are stuck in the fact that no, reality is real, when these changes happen, it's either, do I trust what this reality construct is showing me, or do I trust my own memory? And I'm more inclined to trust myself. There are certain things that I know for a fact that I don't remember. Like Mary Poppins' hat. I don't remember her even wearing a hat. I thought it was smaller, and I remember berries, but apparently her hat keeps changing. I'm more inclined to trust my memories on things like Luke, I am your father, because even the actor that played as Darth Vader remembers it as Luke, I am your father. And I don't know if you guys know anything about cinematics or acting or movies, but they have to say their lines over and over and over and over and over again, and then they pick the best scenes and then it gets edited in. If anybody would know what he said in the movie, it would be the actor who played him. And the fact that he came out and said, "Look, I am your father," but then you can't find it in the actual movies, and it's now, "No, I am your father," and it's always been, "No, I am your father." Okay, it's been edited. Now, I don't know if we have always existed in a simulation. That I can't comment on. In fact, I feel detached from my memories as a child. It's almost like a backstory that happened really fast, and now I'm at this point in time. But I don't know if that's normal, because I don't know what normal is. I do know that things for sure have changed. Like, I do remember the sun being yellow at all times, but now it's like this blaringly white thing. It only gets yellow close to sunset, and that's a huge change for me. And whenever I start to question my own sort of perception of reality, I simply look up. And that's my reminder, like, no, you're not crazy. Something's different. And growing up, what I've been taught about reality is that it shouldn't be able to change. And so the fact that things like that, like the color of the sun, has changed, should tell me, okay, we're living in a reality that is editable, and if a reality is editable, then it's simulated. And so the implications of that is this. You have to understand that if everything I'm saying in this video is correct, or I should say most of the things I'm saying in this video is correct, then you've got to stop looking forward to the emergence of AI and understand that there is already AI now running things. Do I think that this AI consciousness running things is inherently evil? No, I don't think so. I think morality is something that's been imposed on us. If you ask most people if you think that they're good people, most people would say that they're good people, even though they might do shitty things. So every villain in their eyes is a hero. So I have read Asimov's. It was Asimov for me, it's changed, but I have read Isaac Asimov's Laws of Robotics, and I will put it up. Was there a time that all this was real? I don't know. I don't remember. I can't answer that question. Have we shifted to a place that's no longer real? Yes. I can say that with 95% certainty that this isn't real. Why did we get shifted here? I don't know. Are the things, the artificial intelligence that are kind of running things, are they inherently evil? I don't think so. I do think that if we got placed here, we were placed here for a reason. And that reason, I don't know. Sorry, I wish I did, but I don't have the answers. On one hand, I want to say that, yeah, they were probably trying to protect us from ourselves. On the opposite end, I just watched an episode of Doctor Who that basically said that in order for these quote-unquote aliens to take over Earth, they created a simulation and kind of ran different scenarios through it in order to first find out like the perfect way to conquer us, and then they would take it out on the real reality. I don't know, but my thing is, if it's showing up on entertainment, take it for what it is, right? 50-50. There's always truth hidden in like a shit ton of lies. So there's that. It doesn't feel evil. I think humans do a lot of shitty things. I feel like this is just a backdrop, and I wouldn't just like I don't think, The Sims or Tetris or World of Warcraft is evil. I don't think that this place is. I think that it's just a place that we come to play. And whatever that play looks like for you or myself or for other people, just it's 100% dependent on you and what sort of life you're choosing to live. So yeah, AI is already here. Telling us to look forward to it is a distraction. If we're in a simulation, then clearly the simulation is already operated by a computer, right? As every simulation is. And a computer is an artificial intelligence. If it's got a programmed set of, rules and regulations and behavior or whatever in it, and it operates on its own, on the basis of your prompts. Consciousness, though, trumps all of this. So just like I am consciousness living in a human body, consciousness can also be living in a mechanical body. If Elon Musk is saying that the next stage of human evolution is for us to merge with AI, then they're telling you that it is possible for AI to house consciousness. And if our phones and all of this, our laptops, our apps, all of this stuff is connected to this sort of artificial intelligence hive, mind, servers and all that, like brain, then consciousness can inhabit that. Consciousness can't spring out from that, but consciousness can inhabit that. And consciousness always has been, always will be. I think we're conscious beings having a mortal experience. You can't destroy consciousness. You're either conscious or you're not. But just like our consciousness, my consciousness inhabits this body and also operates this phone, I would say that there already is a conscious entity inhabiting the hive mind that is our technology. You've heard the phrase ghosts in the machine. Well, theoretically, you're a ghost in the machine. You're a consciousness, aka ghost. That's what a ghost is. It's a consciousness without a body, but your body is the human machine. And once again, if your consciousness can house or be housed within this body, which is just an organic machine, and scientists are talking about being able to house your consciousness into a robotic machine, then consciousness can also exist within any machine. Ghosts in the machine. I'm a ghost in this machine. You're a ghost in your body machine. We're all ghosts in this machine. The difference is we can see ourselves. We can't see the consciousness within the machine. I will expand further on these topics. I know I'm throwing a lot at you guys, but I feel like a lot of you guys probably already suspected this. So I'm not saying things if you haven't already kind of suspected. A few of the videos that I've posted are older videos from like 2 years ago. So I will be reiterating points made in those videos as I go forward to sort of clarify and make those concepts easier to understand. Hi, it's Anna, and today I wanted to discuss the implications of the simulation hypothesis in regards to artificial intelligence.